I just want to, before we get started, to remind everyone to use their mics when they're speaking. This is the first time that a Board of Public Utilities meeting is being live streamed. And from our intention is, I'm sorry? That it's being live streamed, and it's hopefully going to not be the last time. So those of you in the audience can make all the faces you want, because the camera, I assume, is going to be focused on the folks up here. When I suggested this to all of my colleagues, everyone was positive about the fact that we should be live streaming our meetings, and so all of my colleagues were in agreement with that, and we decided we were able to get it initiated at the last minute for today's meeting. So we thought this would be the virgin voyage of live streaming our meetings. With that, Commissioner Holden, would you lead us in the flag salute? Public notice, please.
Adequate public notice has been given pursuant to the Open Publics Meeting Act, notice having been posted at the board's office and having been delivered to the Department of State and to newspapers of broad circulation within the state.
Roll call.
Commissioner Holden.
Here.
Commissioner Solomon. Here. Commissioner Shibakula.
Here.
Commissioner Gordon. Here. President Fiorliso.
Here. Next regularly scheduled meeting.
Our next regular board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 28th, 10 a.m., Committee Room 4. State
Thank
House
you.
Annex. Apologize.
So we'll be back in this room. I just want to make mention of the fact that there will be a special board meeting, and more information will be coming forth regarding this on June the 21st at 10 a.m. Just want to give you advance notice so you can get it on your calendars. And it will be also scheduled, or it is also scheduled for this room. We will be going into executive session. The item that is going to be discussed in executive session, I am recused from, so I will stay out here with you. And I'm going to ask Commissioner Gordon to lead that session when you get inside. So we will be addressing clean energy item F, and the board will take action during the regular session on this item. I anticipate that executive session should last anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. Will the Attorney General's office please read the explanation for justification?
Good morning, Commissioners. The matter will be held in executive session under the exception covering attorney-client privileged communication.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Holden.
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon. Yes. Commissioner Shibakula.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon. Yes. President Fiorliso.
Yes. And we're in executive session.
So moved. Aye.
We have a couple of new employees. I would just like to mention who they are. First of all, I have a new confidential aide, Sam Kaplan. He's right over here. Heather Weisman is now in our legal division, or went back to our legal division, and where her expertise can be put to use. So we're happy to have you, Sam. I'm happy to have you. Also, we have another new addition to our Division of Clean Energy, Ashley Lynn, and I am going to screw up this name so bad, so just be prepared. Chersicki, I believe. There's one vowel in this name, and so it's not as easy as Fiordaliso, and so on. So Ashley Lynn, if you're here, I apologize for screwing up your name. Do any other commissioners wish to make any opening remarks? Okay. Madam Secretary, the consent agenda, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On consent agenda items 1A, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, 2E, 2F, 3A, 5A, 5B, 5C, 6A, 7A, and 9A.
So moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. Thank you. There are no items in the regular agenda for audits, so that brings us to energy. Stacy.
Good morning, Commissioners. Agenda item 2A relates to a JCP&L petition related to the Federal Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. By order dated January 31st of 2018, the board directed all affected utilities to file petitions proposing new rates reflecting the impacts from the Federal Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The January order specifically mandated that the utilities file amended tariff sheets reflecting a reduction in rates resulting from the reduction in the corporate tax rate effective April 1st of 2018, as well as a plan to address other rate factors and to refund any overcollection in rates. On March 2nd, 2018, JCP&L filed its petition pursuant to the January order. By order dated March 26th of 2018, the board directed the company to implement its proposed base rate reduction on an interim basis effective April 1st of 2018. As a result of that order, an average residential customer would see an annual decrease of approximately $15.12. Following a review of discovery and subsequent discussions on April 24th of 2019, the parties executed a stipulation intended to resolve the company's petition. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential customer will see a one-time refund of the stub period overcollection of $4.13. Additionally, the same typical residential customer will see a monthly decrease of approximately 63 cents. Staff recommends that the board issue an order adopting the stipulation and directing JCP&L to file tariffs consistent with the board's order by May 15th of 2019.
So moved.
Comments, questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. And on to 2B, another stipulation. Stacey?
Correct. On July 13th of 2018, JCP&L filed a petition seeking approval to implement its Reliability Plus infrastructure investment program, including a proposed cost recovery mechanism. JCP&L proposed to invest approximately $387 million over a 4-year period. By order dated August 29th of 2018, the board retained the matter and designated Commissioner Chivukula as the presiding officer. Commissioner Chivukula issued a pre-hearing order setting forth a procedural schedule and ruling on all motions to intervene and participate. Throughout the course of the proceeding, the parties engaged in extensive discovery and held numerous in-person and telephonic meetings. Subsequently, on April 23rd, the parties executed a stipulation resolving all of the issues in the proceeding. The stipulation would allow JCP&L to implement an infrastructure investment program with a capital investment of approximately $97 million, beginning June 1 of 2019 and ending in December of 2020. These investments may be recovered through an infrastructure investment program cost recovery mechanism with 2 anticipated roll-ins. The company will also maintain a minimum base spend throughout the program period and has committed to file a base rate case no later than 5 years after the commencement of the program. Staff recommends that the board issue an order approving the stipulation.
So moved.
Comments, questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. And that brings us to C, South Jersey Gas.
Correct. On June 1st of 2018, South Jersey Gas Company filed a petition seeking authority to increase its periodic basic gas supply service rate, change the charges related to its balancing service clause, and revise its conservation incentive program rates. By order dated September 17th of 2018, the board approved a stipulation for provisional rates, which authorized South Jersey to implement the proposed BGSS, BSC, and CIP rates on a provisional basis. Based on the stipulation approved by the board, the average residential heating customer would experience a net increase in their monthly bill of approximately $13.58. On December 27th of 2018, South Jersey submitted a notice of its intent to self-implement a periodic BGSS rate adjustment, effective February 1st. On April 15th, the parties executed a stipulation for final rates in this matter, which was approved by ALJ Gertzman. As a result of the stipulation, the average residential heating customer will see a reduction in their monthly bill of approximately $9.79. In addition, the same average residential customer will receive a one-time bill credit of approximately $62. Individual bill credits will vary based on each customer's usage from October 1st, 2018 through February 28th of 2019. Staff recommends the board issue an order approving the initial decision and stipulation and directing South Jersey to file tariffs consistent with its order by May 15th.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? President Fiorelliso?
Yes. 8D, Elizabethtown Gas.
On August 13th of 2018, Elizabethtown Gas Company filed a petition seeking a review and approval of the company's manufactured gas plant remediation adjustment clause activities and the net manufactured gas plant costs incurred between July 1st of 2017 and June 30th of 2018. The RAC-related costs for which recovery was sought were the cost to test, contain, and remediate the company's former MGP sites incurred during the period July 2011 through June 2018, based on a 7-year cost amortization plus certain adjustments and true-ups. After review of discovery, the parties reached an agreement on the petition and on April 15th executed the stipulation. As a result of the stipulation, the monthly bill impact on a typical residential heating customer will be an increase of $1.48. Staff recommends that the board approve the stipulation and direct Elizabethtown to file tariffs consistent with its order by June 1st.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden? Yes. Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. There are no items under cable television or telecommunications. That brings us down to water, and Ben, you're going to present?
Yes, I will. Dr. Witherell, Chief Economist for the Board. This is the petition for Middlesex Water Company to issue up to 1.5 million shares of common stock. The purpose of the stock issuance is to advance the interest of the company and its stockholders by providing safe and reliable water service to its customers. Middlesex continually plans for ongoing upgrades and replacements to its water infrastructure and the entire system that it operates. The current 5-year capital infrastructure program, known as Water for Tomorrow, projects that Middlesex will spend approximately $355 million through the year 2023 to replace aging infrastructure, to remain in compliance with water quality regulations, and to enhance its service to its customers. The funding of the projected $355 million infrastructure improvement investment will require a combination of funds generated from operations, previously approved debt financings, and equity issuances in order to maintain a balanced capital structure and to continue to be attractive to investors in the market. The proposed common stock offerings are currently expected to begin in the third quarter of this year, 2019, and to continue on a path until all 1.5 million shares are issued. However, that is subject to change based on the timing of actual project expenditures, based on financial market conditions, and possible SEC review. The estimated net proceeds anticipated from this sale of common stock is $82.4 million. Rate Counsel has reviewed the petition and is not opposed to its approval, and the Office of the Economist recommends approval of this petition.
So moved.
Questions? I just have one, Ben. When was the last time Middlesex issued a common stock lot?
Approximately 10 years ago.
It's about 10 years ago?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelisa?
Yes. Reliability and security has no items to be considered, nor does customer assistance. So that brings us to clean energy. And 8A, Hudson County Improvement Authority. Who's going to present? Ben?
Yes, that'll be me.
Would you just let the reporter know your name?
Sure. My name is Ben Goldstein, Goldstein.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So the first item I have to present today is for a commercial and industrial incentive over $500,000, and this one is for the Hudson County Improvement Authority. Hudson County Improvement Authority submitted an application under the fiscal year 2017 Pay-per-Performance New Construction Program. The agency requests board approval of a financial incentive of $581,310.30 for installation of energy efficiency measures that have a total cost of $20,610,932. This application covers the installation of a wide variety of energy efficiency measures that will allow the building to perform well above baseline energy code, including building shell upgrades, new LED lighting and lighting controls, HVAC upgrades, including ground source heat pumps, high-efficiency water heating and water cooling equipment, and ventilation controls throughout the building. Annually, the project is anticipated to save 5,467 kilowatt hours of electricity and 48,848 therms of natural gas. The project will also reduce annual peak demand by 56.7 kilowatts. The payback period without incentives is 96 years, and when factoring in the incentives, the payback period is reduced to 82 years. Despite the lengthy estimated payback period for this project, there are several reasons we believe we should still grant the requested incentive. For one, this project will provide incentives to the Hudson County High-Tech High School, an innovative learning environment that has been constructed as a showcase of sustainability and energy efficiency. The inclusion of measures like geothermal heat pumps exemplify how the value of this project goes beyond purely financial considerations. This proposed system will reduce the school's natural gas consumption by 67%. While the payback here in terms of cost is minimal due to natural gas's relatively low price, the benefit in terms of carbon reduction is very significant. In addition to the measures outlined in this application, the High-Tech High School also features a combined heat and power system, solar photovoltaic panels, sorry, that word trips me up every time, and vertical axis wind turbines. These advanced systems, while ineligible for incentives under this application, will greatly reduce the school's reliance on fossil fuels, help the building achieve LEED Gold or possibly even LEED Platinum status, and further demonstrate the Hudson County Improvement Authority's commitment to making this building an iconic facility. For these reasons, staff recommends approval of the application for the total estimated incentive amount.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am compelled to vote against this matter, and for the following reasons. While I find the project an attractive one in terms of its impact on the environment and in advancing new technologies, I'm very concerned about the finances of this project. The $581,310 out of a over $20 million project represents about 2.8% as I do the arithmetic. So clearly, the clean energy money is not a deal breaker or make or break funding mechanism for this project, and yet we're told that the payback period with the addition of the clean energy money changes from, I believe it's 96 years to 82 years. Any CFO of a private enterprise who included a project with an 80-year payback in their capital budget would probably be fired. At a time when we are asking the ratepayers to fund one initiative after another, I think we need to be very selective about the projects that we fund. My understanding is that the Clean Energy Program was developed to provide the incentives necessary to take a project from perhaps the marginal column to projects that are economically viable, to take a payback from 12 years, for example, to 8 years. These funds really aren't having that kind of impact. They are not tipping the scales in the direction of a project that meets the goals, the financial goals of an organization. As laudable as the project is, I think the funds should be drawn from some other source as opposed to funds coming from the ratepayers, and for that reason, I'll be voting against it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other comments? Yeah. Oh, Mariana?
Yeah. I appreciate your concerns on this. It's very, as I said during my briefing, I won't live to see this project to its end. So, Ben, it's up to you. To be 82 years from now, I'd be checking on the life of this project. But I think this is a wonderful project. I think this is exactly the kind of incentive. Obviously, I look at it a little differently. While this is a 582, let's say 582,000 investment, the New Tech High Schools or the Hudson County Improvement Authority has a lot of skin in the game. We've given out other incentives that people were entitled to, they've paid into, they followed the rules, and they were either companies or it was technology that got incentives that wasn't going to make it beyond the life of their warranty. We've had companies that don't need the incentive. Here we're trying to encourage these students to not only seek out this education at the New Tech High School, but to actually put our money where our mouth is, that we're going to be providing, we're doing the right thing in this construction. So I just look at it as a little different angle, and I think it's a pretty wise investment out of all the things that we do at this clean energy program.
Yes.
With respect to this particular program, or any program that we support, I am, pretty consistently applicant neutral. If we have certain guidelines for the programs, regardless of the applicant, I don't assess their ability to either pay for it independently or not. If we have the parameters for them to make the application, certainly they're free to do so. In this particular instance, half of the cost of the project is for one technology, I also understand. And, that is also a concern of mine with respect to this one application. It's not that we're supporting an overall project, it's the one technology, as laudable as it may be. The main difficulty with respect to this program is also that it's new construction. And because building codes have improved and continue to improve to get the level of energy efficiency that is required under these programs, make it more and more difficult for them to find room to make application, actually, to the clean energy program, which is what we want. We want new buildings to be using more efficient program design. And this is achieving that in the building of this new high school, which is what we want. So it doesn't mean that we should be underwriting the cost of every new building that comes to us. However, since we have in the past had even longer payback periods under the pay for performance, and especially when it comes to new construction, I will be voting in favor of this application, but I would urge, and I understand, that moving forward with the new commercial and industrial program design and looking at our suite of programs, that we take into consideration these longer payback periods, the IRRs, and how we want to, what our policy should be moving forward with respect to returns and paybacks on programs that are going to already be meeting, increase building codes. The building codes, I think, in another year are going to be coming out again, probably even more efficient. So to see that our dollars are being used in the best possible way.
Thank you. Commissioner?
First, I want to congratulate Ben for a great work you have done with this project. I think it's a no-brainer for me. When you're trying to build a LED LEED gold and possibly platinum certification, and also building it's a hallmark project because you have Hudson County Tech High School and high-tech high school, an innovative learning environment, and connected to showcase sustainability and energy efficiency. That's what we're driving. And also we're trying to reduce the fossil fuel consumption by 67%, which is what is consistent with the governor's energy master plan. And when you look at it, they're only exceeding the $500,000 by about $80,000, and it's not a big amount. And in terms of the payback period from 96 years to reducing that by 14 years to 82 years, when you look at it, and you have a combination of geothermal where you are drilling into the stone and creating the heat pump accessibility and using the chillers and also and the rooftop windmills. I think that's what you're creating. So I think it's a combination of insulation, combination of lighting, a combination of the dimming controls and floor insulation, door insulation. I think it's phenomenal that all these things, all the pieces are coming together, and we have funded projects that less worthy, and I think this is a project that really requires our support, and I 100% support this project.
Thank you. I just have a couple of comments to make regarding this. Initially, when you indicated the payback period, I was taken aback that it is a lengthy payback period in comparison to a lot of programs. I think the tipping point for me was the combination of a variety of different renewable energy technologies, and the fact that it is going toward an educational institution, and going toward an educational institution that's going to help youngsters for generations to come. And I think that's part of what we're about here. And it also promotes the governor's clean energy agenda. And if we're going to achieve that clean energy of 100% by 2050, programs like this have to be a part of that for us to get to that goal. And also, I agree with my colleagues. We've given grants to multi-billion-dollar corporations that are much larger than the grant we're giving here for an educational institution. So taking all of that into consideration, and I'm going to be very specific in my comments, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I'd rather give money to construct a new high school or to help construct a new high school in a energy efficient way than to give money to the Walmarts of the world. And that, to me, is important. Any other comments? Roll call. What's that? Go on.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? No. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. 8B. Ben, is that you too?
Yes, I'm also 8B. I have two other commercial and industrial program applications over $500,000 to present today. And the second is for Garden Spire's Urban Renewal LP. This company submitted an application under the fiscal year 2019 Combined Heat and Power and Fuel Cell Program. The company is requesting a board approval of a financial incentive of exactly $900,000 for installation of a cogeneration system that has a total cost of $3,057,020. The proposed cogeneration system will serve the domestic hot water heating and space heating needs of this multifamily facility, and it is equipped with black start capabilities. The project is anticipated to generate 3,741,750 kilowatt hours of electricity annually and provide 18,095.3 MMBTU of useful heat annually. The system will also reduce electrical grid demand by producing 450 kilowatts of its own power. The payback period here without incentives is 11.84 years, and when factoring in the incentives, the payback period is reduced to 8.36 years. And staff recommends approval of the application for the total estimated incentive amount.
So moved.
Comments, questions?
I just want to say that this is one of the multi-family housing units, and the combination of the heat load as well as the electric load, I think it's a very good project.
Any other comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. 8C. Is that you, Sarah?
It is. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a procedural motion, and that staff recommends that the board take additional time to review the motion filed by the Mid-Atlantic Solar and Storage Industries Association and approve the issuance of a secretary's letter to MCA that informs the movement that the board is continuing its review of the petition and will act on it beyond the 60-day time limit set forward in NJAC 14.1-8.7C.
I know it well.
So moved.
Comments, questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. 8D, back to you, Ben.
Yes. This is the final item I have to present today, and this is an application submitted by Journal Square 2 Urban Renewal under our Pay for Performance New Construction Program. This company is requesting board approval of a financial incentive of $1,011,044.75 for installation of energy efficiency upgrades at a multifamily facility that have a total cost of $12,613,321. This application covers the installation of a variety of energy efficiency measures in a new high-rise apartment building that will efficiently utilize natural gas, water, and electricity. These measures include various efficient HVAC systems, building shell upgrades, interior and parking lot LED lighting, Energy Star qualified refrigerators and dishwashers, and several additional upgrades. Annually, this project is anticipated to save 878,582 kilowatt hours of electricity and reduce peak electrical demand by 326 kilowatts. Additionally, these upgrades will save 4,534 therms of natural gas per year. The payback period here without incentives is 9 years, and when factoring in our incentives, the payback period is reduced to 2.2 years. Staff recommends approval of the application for the total estimated incentive amount.
So moved.
Comments, questions?
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I hope I could afford to live in this apartment, but I think it is a combination of all the energy efficiency measures that are going to be used here. And so I think it's another great project. Yeah.
Any other comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. 8E, Mr. Boyd, we must have a rulemaking.
There is indeed a rulemaking, President Fiorelliso. Good morning, Commissioners. This agenda item is regarding amendments to certain solar energy provisions pursuant to PL 2018, Chapter 17, which is as we refer to as the Clean Energy Act of 2018. In particular, in broad strokes, this is a rule adoption. It was properly published in the New Jersey Register on December 3rd, 2018, for an open comment period of 60 days. We received the comments. Staff has analyzed the comments. There is one change. It's a ministerial change to the rule. In Table B at 14:8, 2.3, there was one percentage that was supposed to be 4.8, and it was said 4.9. Interestingly, the board approved it at 4.8, but there was a publishing error. So we're correcting that in the adoption to make it comply with the Clean Energy Act. In addition to that, there is a notice in this rule adoption which will be published in the New Jersey Register for the solar industry and for interested parties, to take note that the board had approved, after this rule was proposed, a subsequent proposal that makes additional amendments to these particular sections. So this rule adoption does not at all impact the amendments that are proposed subsequently by the board, and they will be considered at a later date. Staff recommends that the board adopts this rule with that one ministerial change.
So moved.
Comments? Questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiorelliso?
Yes. Brings us to 8F, which was discussed in executive session, and I am recused. So, Commissioner Gordon, would you please take the gavel?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. As was noted, this was discussed in closed session. Would staff make its presentation, please?
Thank you, Commissioner Gordon. This matter comes before you, and I just need to provide just some background. These applications were filed under subsection 12, Solar Act of 2012 in 2012, and the board denied these projects back in 2013, and the matters were on appeal when board staff reached a settlement on these 4 projects. The board approved that settlement agreement in June of 2016. The appeals were dismissed with prejudice. The document was binding on the applicants, the developers, their successors, and assigns. Sometime in 2018, the petitioner approached staff trying to determine whether or not there was any interest in modifying the terms of that settlement. A formal petition was filed in March of this year. Petitioner asked that the board modify the 2016 settlement and the board order approving that settlement so that it could construct these 4 projects at the capacity greater than 10 megawatts, which was the megawatt that was approved through the settlement. For the reasons outlined in more detail in the board order, our recommendation is that you deny the petition. Briefly, we believe that there is a sanctity in honoring settlements that were approved by the board. 2, there are other policy considerations under the Clean Energy Act of 2018 that the board must also consider, which include the impact on ratepayers. 3, there's the concern about building and subsidizing solar projects on farmland. And 4, there were some inaccuracies, factual inaccuracy on the size of the solar projects that they believe they filed in 2012. So for all of these reasons, we ask that the board deny the petition and affirm the settlement that was entered and approved by this board in 2016, and that they continue to comply with that settlement.
Just a point of clarification. So a yes vote would be to deny the petitioner's request and to affirm the settlement of June 29th, 2016.
That is correct.
Okay. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any questions, comments? Just speaking for, I believe, the 3 other commissioners able to act on this, while we, I believe, are all supportive of the governor's initiatives to achieve our clean energy goals, I believe we recognize that there is some sanctity to the process, and I believe we are all placing greater weight on that factor. Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. That brings us to 8G. Sarah?
Thank you, Mr. President. The clean energy staff is very excited about this, and we first presented this as part of our true-up budget. And this would be the application for the clean energy, community energy planning grants. And as you're all aware, for the past year, we've been going through the Energy Master Plan on the state level, and some of the feedback that we had received throughout that process was a desire to help communities also be able to plan for their own energy future. And before you, we have an application that we would like to start receiving and be able to have out there so that we can act upon the clean energy community energy planning grants. And within that, we are asking for communities to band together with local organizations, transportation planning groups, their community nonprofits, business association, and be able to all work together to identify a community energy profile as well as a community energy plan for short-term and long-term goals. And we think this will help us move forward as a state, both on our own energy master plan goals, as well as allow for local communities to be able to have resources to dedicate to planning on the local level. And with that, staff would ask that you accept the application and that we move forward with allowing people to start applying for this.
So moved.
Comments? Questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon? Yes. Commissioner Chivukula?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon? Yes. President Fiordaliso?
Yes. And there are no miscellaneous items for us to consider. And if there are no other items or comments by my colleagues, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor? We're adjourned.